Hey everyone, it's Brody from Everything Board Games. I was sent Herbalism from Deepwater Games, so let's get it to the table.
All right, this is Herbalism, which is a memory deduction type card game. We have different things here. Let me go through them, but you're going to start with 14 of these cards. These all have each type of herb that might be used to cure what they are trying to figure out what cures. And so you're going to shuffle these up, and you will randomly put 2 of them underneath this curing card. Those are the 2 cards you're trying to figure out what they are. And if you look wherever it shows the picture, say this pink, it has 2 dots under it, meaning in all these 14 cards, there's only 2 of those, 3 yellows, 4 greens, and 5 blues. So they don't all have the same number. Now, if you had 4 players like we're going to put, then you're going to shuffle and deal out evenly all these cards to everyone. So now everyone has 3 cards. If you were playing with 3 players, everyone would have 4, and so on. So this player now can look at their cards, and they know 3 possibilities of what they are not. And so when it is your turn, what you're going to do, so we have the starting player here, and we'll call this brown, and then we'll go in this order. You are going to first take your pharmacist token here, and you're going to decide which one of these cards you're going to put your pharmacist on. Now, this action here is going to determine later on when you take your actual action of which colors you are going to be doing your action about. So it's kind of hard to explain, but let me show you examples. So I have, say I want to figure out where this other pink is, because I got one of them. I want to figure out if anyone else has any. So I'm going to pick one that has another pink on it. Let's see. Not that one. I have a blue. So I'm going to do this one. I'm going to put my person on there because I'm going to do a certain action where I will. So I'll just go and explain to you what all these are. But everything now that I am going to do for my action is going to be based around whatever colors I put my pharmacist token on. And so if I want to inquire, I am going to give all of one of my colors to someone, and they are going to tell me how many of the other color they have. So it's giving me information. But I am losing a card, and they are gaining a card. If I wanted to taste, then I will give them one card, so I can give them one of my pinks or one of my blues, and they're going to give me all of their other color of what I don't give them. Now, if I do it with green, blue and red over here don't really know what colors we're doing, because green sees what color I'm giving them and they get information, but these others can kind of have to guess, and when the game gets further, they might be able to get some information about what we're doing, but they don't know for sure. So that's what tasting is. Trading is, if I wanted to trade, I will just say, again, my color, I will say either pink or blue, and they will give me all of their pinks, or they will give me all of their blue. And then sampling is, I'm going to say both those colors, and they have to give me one of each. If they don't have it, then they don't have to give it. And they might not have either or, and that way they wouldn't give me anything. But that gives you more information every time. So everyone's going to be doing this. I'm going to put my pharmacist there, and I'll just show you inquiring. So I want to know about pink. So I'm going to actually give this card blue. That's what I gave them. Everyone else doesn't know, but green knows. Here's the card. And then let's see, they're going to look and they're going to say, okay, that's all, which tells me that they don't have a pink. So now I know I have one pink, he doesn't. I got to figure out if they have pinks to know if maybe the pink is in there. The pink, there's only 2 of them. So, with me having one, gives me a little more information. Okay, so now it's green's turn. Green will do the same. They will, let's see. They are going to go after blue. And they will do it by going here. And they will use this same token here. And they could do this exact same action here. They can do any of these anytime. And they could also go on the same tile as the other player. The only thing is, when it's your second turn, you cannot do the same card. The pharmacist token will have to go to a different card to ask about different questions. In this one, though, in this action area, you can do the same one. So he's going to go there, and I'm going to do this one. And he's going to say, oh, this lets them pick. So no, he wants to do sampling. No, I don't want to do sampling. We'll do trading. Yeah, we'll figure out. It's blue or green. And he's going to ask maybe this red player. So the red player has to give all of one or all of the other. They're going to say, well, all right. They're going to give him this card. So it's all of, this is either one green or one blue. That's what everyone knows. This player knows it was actually one green. So then they get this card and they say, okay, I got 2 of the greens. Maybe I got to figure out where those are to know. All right, now it's blue's player's turn. Ooh, maybe they want to figure out what pink is as well. And so, of course, they might go, you might be wondering what this card is over here. This card is, you're asking about the same color. So when you do all these actions, it's only about the whatever color that has to do with it. And if there's not one, it could be any color. And so I am going to taste. And so I'm going to give you one of my colors. I'll show you how this answers. He says, well, I'll give you one of mine. They look at it and they say, oh, well, now we know that pink is not in the cure. And they, in return, have to give all of the other color, but since they're on this one, it's the same color. And so they're going to give them all of the same. And so 2 came over. And so both of these players now know that pink is not going to be it, because it helps both of them. But the other players don't know that. Then this one, they'll go on. Oh, they only have a blue. And so they might want to figure out blue, and they're going to go for someone who has a lot of cards, which is green. And actually, they're going to do this same thing and this same thing. They're going to taste as well. They're going to give blue 1, or green, they're 1 blue, and now blue has to give. So they know, blue or green here knows there's 3 blues out, and that they're going over here to red. Red knows now that there are actually 4, and so they're waiting to see where that other one is, and they're trying to get blue checked off the list to say there's no blue, or if no one else has it, they know green, he has all theirs, so they're going to ask these 2 players and try to get it off. So you're going to go over and over and try to narrow down what it is. Again, who's next? Brown here cannot stay here. They have to move to a different color each time, but you can take the same ones. All right, now something that I didn't mention. So after you take your turn, so you did this action, then you do this action, is whenever you feel like you know one of them. For example, when these got pink, and maybe they don't want to do it because it's obvious, But what they could have done is said, after their turn, the third step is taking one of these up here, which is they say, I think I know one of them, and it's giving more information to everyone else, and I'm going to do it for a point. If they are right at the end of the game, if one of those is pink, then they get a point. If they are wrong, they get -1 point. And so that might say, okay, well, if they think it's pink, well, I don't think it's pink, then that helps me out as well. But they might be wrong, and a lot of times in playing this game, people are wrong because it gets confusing, as you can see already. So these might be coming out to get more points, and then finally someone will decide that they are going to come up here to cure. So I explained all those, explained that. These are points, and I'll get to that. And this is the starting token because it's kind of a fast round, not super fast, because it is kind of hard to narrow down which 2 cards are up here. But whoever thinks they are going to cure, they know the answer. They will take their other, say it's red here. They're going to answer, and I have no clue what it is, but, oh no, we know it's not pink. So they're going to say, yeah, I think it's a green and a blue. So then this player can either follow them, they will flip this over, and they will get, if they are right by following them, they will get a point, but if they're wrong and following them, they get -1 point. If this person is right, they will get 3 points. If they are wrong, then they don't get any minus points. They're just wrong. So to follow is kind of risky because you could get minus points. But say this player said, no, I don't think that's it. I think it's actually this one. Then they just place their token on that one. So then this player will go. They also can just decide to pass. So this player might say, okay, I'll follow, because I do think it's that. And this says, I have no clue, but I don't think you guys are right, so I'm just going to pass. So coming back to this player, they will look underneath here. If they are wrong, they are out of the game. Okay, so we didn't know what they were, but they're all wrong. But they would look and say, okay, well, I'm out, so they'd take their cards out. This player would as well. They would look, decide, okay, well, I'm out. And the last player, -1 point. So this player is still in, but because they are the only one, when it is their turn, they have to cure. And so they have more information of what it is not, and from what they know, they might have another shot at getting it. And they're going to say, well, I know it's not pink, I know it's not green, and I know it's not blue, the yellows. So they're going to say, all right, I'm going to answer down here. And 2 yellows. So whenever they're the same, whatever color, this is the card that you're going to play it on. And so the winner then guessed it right, got 3 points. No one followed, but if you followed, you'd get 1 point. Negative points, well, they're all at 0 anyways. And that's 1 round. This player, why would they take that? They guessed it that it wasn't. That wasn't in the cure. So that was a bad example. But say this one knew it was yellow the whole time. Say they even got that wrong. Well, they got a point, but then they got 1 minus. So whenever you know one of these, not one that it's not, then you will be taking one of these tokens up here. And so the game is fun, fast. It is hard to figure out what the cure actually is because these cards are moving around. And sometimes you might think it's bad when you only have 1 card like this. But it actually is really good because that means there's more cards when you ask other players. And so it is good when another player has a lot of cards or when you have a lot of cards because that gives you just more information about what they have. And, it's not a bad thing to not have a lot of cards, and it's not a bad thing to have a lot of cards. They're both good depending on what actions you are taking. And it takes a while to kind of understand these actions and what they mean without having to reference the rule book. But, after you realize that A is any of the colors that you pick on this step, and B is the other color. And if you're going to do the first one, then the second one's got to be the other color. Then it makes sense. So very good game. Everyone I've played it with loves it. And I love the theme, this herbalism, this healing, medical, you're trying to figure out a cure. It's just great. Again, this is Herbalism by Emperor S4 Games and Deepwater Games. If you like what you see, then go buy it.